Okay, I just realized I made a massive mistake. It shouldn't be catastrophic. It could have been. This car isn't rebuilt yet. On the last video, I did fit the radiator, AC condenser, intercooler in the crash bar, and there is a good reason for that, because on this video, I need to service this car to see how this engine actually behaves. Because if there's any issues with it, then there's no point continuing to rebuild the front end, because we have to tackle those issues first. So let's get the service done. I bought this car from auction without really knowing what condition it was in. When it arrived, the entire front end was missing, and I still don't fully know why. It could have been crashed, it could have been stripped, but either way, there's only one thing that really matters. I need to know whether this engine is actually healthy. In the last video, I built up the front end, which got me close, but not close enough to starting it properly. Before I turn the key, there are a few things that absolutely need doing first. I picked up a brand new to me airbox, and when I took it apart, it was full of oil. It might have come from a car with a blown turbo, and I'm really hoping mine isn't. But before I went anywhere near this engine, I cleaned it properly and bolted it in place. Next up was a basic service. A new oil filter is going in, and then it was time to drain the engine oil. Or at least, that was the plan. You can now see me cracking the drain plug, and straight away something doesn't feel right. The oil looks way too clean. Maybe it's just recently been serviced, or maybe something else is going on. You can see it's looking very clear. I carry on, refill the engine with the correct amount of oil, and move on to the coolant. So now that I've serviced the engine, I've changed the engine oil in the filter, I'm gonna work on the coolant now. So I'm just gonna top up some coolant, crank the car over, well, hopefully it starts, and it doesn't sound awful. This car arrived completely dry, so before I let it run properly, I need to fill and bleed the cooling system, squeezing the upper hose to try and push any trapped air out. So you can just see the level of coolant just right by there. So I'm gonna squeeze the radiator hose. You should see the bubbles coming out. Once I fill up as much coolant as I can, I turn the key and it starts. There we go, so engine's running. Just need to top up the coolant. Doesn't look like any leaks. At this point, I'm just letting it come up to temperature, topping up coolant and watching everything closely. So far, so good. Right, so before we top up the coolant and bleed the system, I've got the final piece of the puzzle. This is a pipe for the intercooler, so that should complete the system and seal everything up, just so that we can get the car running, start it over, and then also bring it up to temperature so we can bleed the coolant. So let's pop this one on. But when the intercooler pipe finally arrives and I get back onto the car, I realize what I've actually done, and it's a big mistake. Okay, I just realized I made a massive mistake. It shouldn't be catastrophic. It could have been. This is the sump that I opened to drain for the engine oil. Now I've just realized it should have been this one here. So I think what I drained was the transmission fluid. Now luckily this car, it hasn't been put into gear, so it hasn't been moving since I did this. But I think I added way too much engine oil into the car. So okay, I think to resolve this is what we're gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to drain the engine oil again. Well, not again. I mean, drain the engine oil because I thought I had drained it. So I think there's twice the amount of engine oil in the car. So you have to drain the engine oil and put the right amount of oil into the engine. The transmission, I wasn't planning on doing a transmission service, but I guess I'm going to, because this was the transmission fluid that came out through this bung here, whereas the engine oil is this one here. So gonna drain the engine oil and then figure out how to top up the transmission fluid, because there's nothing in this box now. It's been completely drained. And that's probably why I was quite surprised why it was so clean. So I need to go pick up some more engine oil, pick up some transmission fluid, figure out how to fill the transmission fluid before we crank this car over. Okay. Good thing I caught this now, actually. I hadn't drained the engine oil at all. I drained the transmission. For a moment, that's a horrible feeling, because that could have been a massive disaster. But the important thing is this: the car hadn't been driven and I hadn't selected a gear, and I caught it early.
I stop, I go out to get the correct fluid, drain the engine oil properly.
So this is a 10-liter bucket, and we are just about the 7-liter mark. So there's definitely too much there.
Refill it with the right amount, and then top up the transmission, which means removing the airbox again just to reach the fill hole.
Right, now that I have the airbox out, I need to try and figure out exactly where, this is the transmission, to fill it in. Before I top up the transmission fluid, I need to get under the car to remove the sort of check bolt, just so we can make sure that we're not excessively putting too much fluid in. So let me show you what that looks like. I think it's a 12mm bolt.
This is the check bolt that sets the level. Back up top, I pull out the rubber bung and fill it with the fluid until it starts dripping from underneath.
There you go. Draining from the check bolt. So once that sort of drains one drop at a time, that's ready to be closed. So I've topped up the transmission fluid, closed the bung underneath as well. All right, so today didn't really go as planned. There's a few minor hiccups, but I think we didn't manage to cause any serious trouble. So I think next step, I can finally get back to what I was doing. I'm racing against daylight though, so I might have to come back tomorrow. But next step, just put all the airbox back, tidy everything up, and then I'm going to go back underneath and fit the intercooler pipe, so then we can, top up with coolant and bleed the system. We've done a transmission service, so we'll be changing through the gears as well, just make sure everything is running smoothly. All right, let's crack on. Let's keep going.
So I put the airbox back in place, and in a second you'll see why that was the wrong move. This day really isn't going to plan.
Okay. Now that that bit's done, let's go pop on that intercooler pipe so we can finally get this car running. Today is not going as planned. Okay, to put in the intercooler pipe, obviously, yeah, maybe I should have waited before, putting the whole rat pack sort of onto the car. It's very tight squeeze. So I think the easiest way is to take the airbox off again, because that'll give me good access to it. So probably should have done that before I put the airbags back on, but it's fairly easy to take off, so I'm just going to do that. All right, progress update. Charge cooler pipe is on now, and it's linked up to the intercooler down here as well. So intercooler system is all intact. Just going to put the airbox on, and then we can finally start putting in some coolant. Okay. There's so many lights on the dash, but we won't think about that just yet. I'm also gonna just check underneath. No leaks so far. All right, let's start topping up some coolant.
With the engine now running, I carry on bleeding the cooling system and topping up the expansion tank as it warms up. And while it's there, I triple check the engine oil level just to be absolutely sure it's where it should be.
So I've been topping up some coolant into this reservoir. Just going to show you inside. Doesn't look like it's been overheating. I think it's almost up to temp. That's the gauge just there. So about halfway, which is kind of where we want to be. So it doesn't look like it's overheating. I'm going to keep an eye on the coolant while it keeps running. But there's something, this next part I'm really excited about. Let me show you what I picked up. It is nighttime, but for the next thing, it's okay, because what I got in here are some brand new headlights. I'm going to fit these onto the car, and I should be able to lighten up the sky with this. Let me plug these in. I think these are LED headlights. There are some brackets that are still, I'm still waiting for, but I should be able to at least plug them in and make sure that they work.
I was really excited to fit these headlights. It feels like such a big step forward in this rebuild, but there's still a chance they don't work, so I'm definitely holding my breath. They're simple to fit, just a few connectors and bolts, and honestly, I'm so happy with the way they look.
Alright, you guys can see probably before I can. Oh, looks like they're working. Full beams. Yeah. Let's see what they look like. Oh, they look cool. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ah, that's a result. Look at that. Oh, it's starting to look like a car again. I guess technically now I could drive it. It actually has an MOT and it's been taxed as well. I mean, it just needs some wheels, but result. This is good.
Now, full service wouldn't be complete without changing the cabin filter, and I'm so glad that I did because this one is disgusting. Luckily, it's an easy job. Just drop the glove box, pop the cover off, and swap it for a new one.
Right, so now that I've got the car up and running and I've plugged in a lot more to the front end, so headlights, a couple of the sensors, let's plug in the diagnostic tool and see if we can clear off quite a few of these codes. The ADAS sensor, which sits right there, so that will need calibration, so I do expect a few more sort of lights to still be on. But we've got, you know, like airflow sense, temperature sensor, headlights, airbox is all in, so we should hopefully be able to clear quite a few codes. We're still getting quite a few lights on the dash. It's up like a Christmas tree. Okay, we're still coming up with a few faults. Let's check out engine. Fuel system too lean. It's a temporary code. So that's quite reassuring actually. So when we scan the car, there isn't too many things that are coming up. There's still a few bits that I need to plug in. So it's still missing a front bumper, parking sensors, fog lights. Need to get aircon regas and the ADAS calibration as well. Hopefully that should clear everything. Now I did put on accidentally service the transmission, but I ran out of daylight, so I didn't actually switch to the gears. So I'm just going to do that now. It's still up on the stands. The car is sort of slowly warming up, so I'm just going to shift through the gears, make sure that that transmission fluid is getting to all the areas it needs to get to. I'll foot on the brake. Okay, I think the wheels are spinning. I went to the back first and I was like, oh no, they're not spinning. I forgot it's a front wheel drive car. Good. Oh, that's not good. Why is only one side spinning? Right, let's get this out of drive. Unless it's just sort of corroded, they should both be spinning. Unless because it's like the rust. So that side's spinning. Why is this not moving? Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm a bit worried about that. I hope I haven't like broken a drive shaft. Right, I'm gonna press on the brake to stop it. I'm gonna put it back into drive again. There was a bit of a thud. Not really sure what that was. Foot on the brake. Put it into drive. Release the parking brake. I forgot to do that last time. But parking brake's at the rear. Okay, I'm releasing the brake. Please, 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 let them both be spinning. Yes! Oh, okay. Okay. Whew. Oh, that was scary. At least I haven't snapped the drive shaft for some reason. Okay, alright, that's fine. I think we got enough fluid going through the transmission. Oh, man. Whew. Boy. With that thud, I honestly thought I'd snapped the drive shaft, but I mean, it's up on the stands and there's no wheels on it, so it's not really holding much load. But that's a relief. It might have just been maybe a bit of rust because it's been sat out for a while and, you know, it's been raining. But good. So now that I think we managed to do most of the mechanical work that we need to, so servicing the car, including the transmission, fitting the airbox, the car is running, drive shaft doesn't seem to be impaired as well, which is a good sign. We still need to take it for a proper drive to see, but that's going to be on the next video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, and I'll see you on the next one.